not my fault.
It was your fault. You were in charge of watching.
I did not let him go, it was you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
You're not going to get away this time. We have a nice spider for you. Why don't you come and get it?
I'm coming, Master. I'm coming.
Who's Master he keeps talking about? Probably just another voice in his head. Now don't make us come and get you.
He's here. He's here.
But who's here? What is it? Something's visiting me!
Children of the night tiptoe through our dreams so lightly that we often wonder if they're even there. That is a vampire's greatest weapon, to make you wonder if they even exist.
Is everything just the same?
Just the same, sir.
Oh, John. Dr. Sword, what is it? Why have you sent for me? My dear John, I told you in the wire there was nothing new. You said, no change, don't worry. But to come at once, and you lost no time. Indeed, I jumped in my car and runned up the road from London. Doctor, surely there must be something more we can do for Lucy. I'd give my life gladly if it would save her. I'm sure you would, my boy. You love her with the warm blood of youth. But don't forget, I love my daughter too. She's all that I have. You must see that nothing in medical science can suggest has been left undone. Medical science couldn't do much for Mina. Poor Mina. Yes, poor Mina. She died of the same incredible symptoms that my Lucy has developed. My Lucy too. Our Lucy then. What was that? Only Renfield, a patient of mine. But you've never kept violent patients here at the sanatorium. Lucy should not be compelled to listen to such raving madmen. I quite agree, and I'm going to have him sent away. Until just lately, he was always quiet. I'll be sorry to lose him. Why is that? Unusual case. Zoophagus. What? A life-eating maniac. What? Yes. He believes by absorbing lives he can prolong his own life. Good God. Catches flies and eats them, and by way of change, feeds flies and spiders, fans them up, and eats the spiders. How disgusting. But tell me about Lucy. Why did you send for me? I wired to Holland for my old friend Van Helsing. She'll be here soon. The car's gone down to the station for her now. I'm turning Lucy's case over to her. Another specialist in anemia. No, my boy? Whatever this may be, it's not anemia. But this woman, who knows a dozen languages as well as her own, knows more about mysterious diseases than anyone alive. Heaven knows it's mysterious enough, but surely the symptoms are clear. So are poor Mina's. Perfectly clear. There they are. At it again. Every dog for a mile around. They seem howls of terror. You've heard that cross every night since Mina fell ill. When I was traveling in Russia, and the dogs howled like that, the natives always said it meant wolves were prowling about. I hardly think you'll find wolves prowling around Perth, 20 miles from London. And yet, your house is in a wilderness. Nothing to be seen except that place, Cottingham, the one Count Dracula was taken. Your friend, the Count, came in again last evening. He's no friend of mine. Don't say that. He knows that both you and I gave our blood for Lucy as well as for Mina. And he's agreed to undergo a transfusion if we need another volunteer. By Jove, that's sporting of him. See if misjudged him. He seems genuinely interested in Lucy. If you're a young man, I'll think, what? But his whole attitude shows that it isn't that. We need sympathy in this house, John, and I'm grateful for it. As am I. Anyone who's willing to help Lucy can have anything I've got. Well, I do think he loves Lucy. She always seems cheered up when he comes.
That's fine. May I see her now?
We'll go together. That must be Professor Van Helsing. You go ahead and I'll come present.
Professor Van Helsing.
Dear Van Helsing, I can never pay you for this.
Were it only a patient of yours instead of your daughter, I would have come. You once rendered me a service.
Don't say that. You've done the same for me. Let me get you something to eat.
Oh, no. I dined on the boat train. I do not waste time when there is work to do.
Van Helsing, you cast that old spell on me. I leaned on you before you've been 2 minutes in my house.
You wrote of your daughter's symptoms. Now, tell me of the other young lady. The one who died.
Well, near Weston. She was a girl just Lucy's age. They were inseparable. She was on a visit here when she fell ill, and as I wrote you about, she grew weaker and weaker. Day by day, she wasted away. But there are no anemic symptoms. It was normal when analyzed.
You said you performed transfusion.
Yes. So William Briggs ordered that.
See these marks? Well, Lucy herself and her fiancé John Harker gave their blood as well.
So 3 transfusions. And the effect?
She rallied that breach. The color returned to her cheeks, but the next morning she'd be pale and weak again. She complained of bad dreams. 10 days ago, we found her in a stupor for which nothing could rouse her. She died.
And the other symptoms?
None. Except those 2 little marks on the throat that I wrote you about.
And which perhaps brought me here so quickly. What were they like?
Oh, just 2 white dots with red centers. Besides, she must have run a safety pin through the skin of her throat, trying in her to limb to fasten a scarf or shawl.
Perhaps. Miss Lucy's symptoms are the same.
Precisely. She too speaks of bad dreams. Professor, you've lived in the tropics. Is this not something alien to our medical experience here in England?
It may indeed, my friend.
Oh, God. It's that rubbish Renfield again. Where did he go this time? That fool Renfield. Ah! Renfield! How did you?
Who is this man?
One of my patients. This gross carelessness.
Did you hear us talking?
Words! Come, Renfield. You know you mustn't wonder about this, but how did you get out of your room?
Wouldn't you like to know?
How it flies. Mr. Renfield makes a hobby of eating flies. I'm not afraid to eat spiders too sometimes. Don't you, Renfield?
Will you walk into my parlor so the spider is the fly?
Ah, Doctor! You have not introduced me to your friend here.
Come, Renfield.
Humor him.
Tell the attendant to come here at once.
Yes, sir.
Professor Van Helsing, Mr. Renfield.
Who does not know of Van Helsing? Your work, ma'am, in investigating certain obscure diseases that are not altogether unconnected with the forces and powers that the ignorant herd do not believe exist, has granted you a position that posterity will recognize.
Dr. Worth, you've let your patient leave his room again.
Blimey, sir, I locked the door on him. I've got the key in my pocket now.
But this is the second time. Only last night you let him escape. He tried to break into Count Dracula's house across the grounds.
He didn't get out the door this time. It's a drop of 30 feet out these windows. He's just a bloomin' eel. Now you, come with me. Come here. Don't do this again. Oh, come.
Renfield, if this happens again, you get no more sugar to spread out for your flies.
Flies. What do I care for flies now?
Oh, don't stop. Oh, my God.
Oh! A low form of life, beneath my notice. I don't care a pin about flies.
Oh, don't shut. Any more of your tricks and I'll take your new spider away.
No, please, Butterworth. Please don't take my spider away. He's getting so nice and fat. Just another dozen more flies, he'll be just right. Just right.
Come, Renfield. What makes you want to eat flies?
The wings of a fly, my dear man, typify the aerial powers of the psychic faculties.
Butterworth?
Just one moment, my friend. And the spiders.
Professor Van Helsing, can you tell me why that one great spider lived for centuries and centuries in the tower of the old Spanish church and grew? He never ate? No, he didn't. No. But he drank. And he drank. Every night he'd come down from the tower of the old Spanish church and drink all of the oil from the old church lamps.
But what? Take him away.
No, one moment! Dr. Seward, I want you to send me away. Now, tonight, in a straight waistcoat. Chain me so I can't escape. This is a sanatorium, not a lunatic's asylum. This is no place for me. Ha ha ha! My cries will disturb Miss Lucy, who is ill. It will give your daughter bad dreams, Dr. Seward, bad dreams.
We'll see about all this in the morning.
Why are you so anxious to go?
I'll tell you, not that fool Seward. You wouldn't understand. But you. No. Don't say the same thing, I swear. No.
What is that?
'Twas a bat, gentlemen. Did you know that in some islands of the eastern seas there are bats which hang on trees all night? And when the heat is stifling and the sailors sleep on their decks, in the morning they are all found dead. White. Even as Miss Mina was.
What do you know, Miss Mina? Take him away.
No, wait, please. Why are you so anxious to go?
To save my soul.
Yes?
You'll get nothing more out of me than that. And I'm not sure I hadn't rather stay. After all, what is my soul good for? Is not what I am to receive worth the loss of my soul?
What's got him thinking about silk? Have you those souls, those flies and spiders on your conscience?
I forbid you to blame me about souls. I don't want their souls. All I want is their life, their blood. Their blood is life.
So?
That's in the Bible, isn't it? Can I use their souls? I can eat them.
Or drink?
You know too much to live in.
Stop it!
I'll go quietly. I'm gonna kill you. Goodbye, Dr. Stewart. Send me away.
My dear friend, you're not hurt.
No.
My deepest apologies. You think my place shockingly managed. Now, was that herb that excited him so?
Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane? What's that? I thought I knew all the drugs in the pharmacopoeia.
It grows only in the wilds of central Russia.
But why do you bring it here?
It is a form of preventive medicine.
Well, we live and learn. Never heard of it.
Seward, I want you to have that lunatic securely watched.
Anything you say, Doctor, but it's my Lucy. I want you to look after first.
I want to keep him under close observation.
An interesting maniac, no doubt, but surely you've seen my
I
doctor.
must see records of his case.
But Doctor!
Do you think I've forgotten why I am here?
Forgive me. Of course I'll show you those records, but I don't understand why you're so curious about Renfield. Because of your vast experience.
Mina Weston was a young girl with full life in front of her. Like her best friend Lucy, she had all the advantages of a girl born with privilege. Maybe this made her more susceptible in believing that she had nothing to fear from strangers. Maybe this was her downfall.
I must say it's been my pleasure to meet you. I've never met anyone quite like you. If you don't mind me being so forward, I might even say you were pretty. Not like any other man I've seen.
She was intrigued by his white skin and his soft voice. He told her stories of his home castle in Transylvania. She found herself falling in love with him.
I can't explain it really. I've never felt like this before. It's as if I'm hot and cold all at the same time. I must sound like a silly schoolgirl. I must sound silly to you. You, who I feel as if I've known my entire life, even though we've only just met. You may kiss me if you like.
Sorry, my dear. I thought they were here.
Oh, John, do you think this new professor will be any better than the others?
Of course, I'm sure she will, my dear. Anyway, Lucy, now that I'm back, I'm going to stay with you until you're over this.
Oh, John, do you think you could, with your work in town?
You come first.
Oh, John, I don't think you better stay. Sometimes I feel that I want to be alone.
My dear, how could you say that? You don't want me with you when you're so ill? You do love me.
don't you?
Oh yes, John. Yes, with all my soul.
We'll be married next month. We won't wait till June. We'll stretch that honeymoon month to 3 months, and the house will be ready in July.
Oh, John, do you think we could?
Of course, why not? My mother wanted us to wait. She'll understand. Besides, I've been wanting to get you away.
Oh, John.
My dear, why do you shrink from me? You're so cold now, Lucy. You're always so cold.
Oh, forgive me, dear. I'm yours, all yours. Oh, but John, I'm so tired now. I'm just so tired. I think I'd better lie down.
Oh, Lucy, dear, this is my old friend, Professor Van Helsing.
My dear Miss Lucy, you don't remember poor Van Helsing, but I knew you when you were a little girl. So high and now, what a charm, what a beauty. A little pale, yes, but we'll bring the roses back to the cheeks.
Oh, you were so kind to come, Professor.
And this must be the fortunate young man you are to marry.
Yes, John Harker, Professor.
Professor, if Dr. Seward will have me, I'm going to make him give me a bed here until Lucy's all of this. It's absolute hell being away in London. Of course, I can't do any of my work.
You're most welcome to stay, my boy.
Indeed, yes. I should have asked you to stay. I may need your help. Harker, get the chair. Bring Miss Lucy over here.
Okay.
I just here.
Oh,
All right. Now,
all right.
lie back. So. Just what I thought. Now, tell me, when did this weakness first come upon you?
Well, 2 nights after Mina died, I had a bad dream.
A bad dream? Tell me about it.
Well, I remember hearing dogs barking before I went to sleep, and the air seemed oppressive. I left my reading lamp lit by my bed, and when the dream came, there seemed to come a mist.
Was the window open?
Yes, I always sleep with my window open.
Of course. You're English. We continentals are not so particular about the fresh air. And then?
And then, the mist was so thick, I could scarcely see my reading lamp, a spark in the fog. And then, out of the mist, there came 2 red eyes, and a livid white face, and oh, it was horrible, horrible!
There. Go on.
Well, in the morning, my maid could scarcely wake me. I was weak and languid, and I felt as if a part of my life had gone from me.
Have there been other such dreams?
Yes, nearly every night since comes the dream, and the 2 red eyes, and the horrible face, and it's awful!
You've tried the transfusion twice. Each time she recovered her strength.
Yes, but then again would come the dream, and oh, I'm so very afraid of the night, Professor. I know it seems absurd, Professor, but please don't laugh at me.
I'm not likely to laugh. Come here, my dear.
Oh, no.
Don't worry. It's all right. How long have these marks been on your throat?
Since that first morning.
Lucy, why didn't you tell us?
Lucy, you've worn that scarf to hide them?
Do not press her. Do not excite her.
Well, I was afraid they'd worry you, for I knew that poor Mina had them.
Quite right, Miss Lucy. Quite right. And Van Helsing will seek that these bad dreams trouble you no more. Count Dracula.
Good evening, Count.
Gentlemen, Miss Seward, how are you? You're looking more yourself this evening.
I'm feeling better already, Count, now that Father Saltbrand has come to help me.
Yes. Count Dracula, Professor Van Helsing.
Ah, a most distinguished scientist, whose name we know well, even in the wilds of Transylvania. But I interrupt your consult.
Not at all, Count. It's good of you to come, and we appreciate your motives.
Dr. Seward has told me of your offer.
cannot thank you enough.
'Tis nothing. I should be grateful to help Miss Lucienne anyway.
Oh, but you do, Count. I look forward to your visits. They seem to make me better.
And so I arrived to find a rival in the field.
Ah, but my efforts to amuse you with our old tales will no longer have the same success now that you have Professor Van Helsing, and especially now that Mr. Harker is to remain here.
How did you know I was going to stay, Count?
Can the gallant lover ask such a question? I inferred it, my friend.
Well, you're right. Nothing's going to shift me now until Lucy's as fit as a fiddle again.
Nothing.
Please come as before, Count, won't you?
You must not answer any vows. She must not be alone for a single moment under any circumstances. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Your maid will take you to your room.
Yes.
Try to rest a little while I talk to your father.
Yes, thank you. Oh, yes, thank you.
Well, remember, don't leave her alone for a moment.
Yes, sir.
Professor Van Helsing, you have come from the land of the tulip to cure this nervous prostration of this charming girl. I wish you all the success.
Thank you, Count.
Do I appear officious, Dr. Seward? I am a lonely man, and you are my only neighbors when I moved to Cartingham, and your trouble has touched me greatly.
Count, I'm more grateful for your sympathy than I can say.
So, Count, you, like myself, are a stranger to England.
Yes, but I love England, and the great London. So different from my own Transylvania, where there are so few people, and so little opportunity.
Opportunity, Count.
From my investigations, Professor.
I hope you haven't regretted buying that old ruin across there.
Cartingham was not ruined. The dust was somewhat deep, but we are used to dust in Transylvania.
Do you plan to remain in England long, Count?
I think so, my friend. The walls of my castle are broken, the shadows many, and I am the last of my race.
It's a lonely place you've chosen, Cartingham.
It is, and when I hear the dogs howling far and near, I think myself back to my castle Dracula with its broken battlements.
Dogs howl there when there are wolves about, don't they?
They do, and they howl here as well, although there are no wolves. But you wish to consult the anxious father and the great specialist. Do I appear officious, Dr. Seward? I wish to read a book instead.
By all means, Count. Very kind of Dracula, with his damned untimely friendliness. But now, what about my daughter?
Yes, Professor. What do you suppose is the matter with Lucy?
Your patient, that interesting Renfield, does not like the smell of wolf's bane.
Good heavens, what has that got to do with Lucy?
Perhaps nothing.
In God's name, Professor, is there anything unnatural or occult about this business?
Occult, Van Helsing!
Seward! Let me remind you that the superstitions of today are the scientific facts of tomorrow.
My dear old friend, you can't have filled up your final grain of Eastern moonshine.
Seward, your daughter's life may pay for your pig-headedness.
Well, go on, Professor.
I'm listening.
Then I must ask you to listen calmly to what I'm about to say. Sit down. You've both heard of the legends of Central Europe about the werewolves, the vampires.
You mean ghosts who suck the blood of the living?
If you wish to call them ghosts, I call them the undead.
For God's sakes, are you suggesting that Mina, and now Lucy...
Of course I've read these horrible folk tales of the Middle Ages, Van Helsing. But I know you better than to suppose.
That I believe them? I do believe them.
You mean to tell us that vampires actually exist and that Mina and Lucy were attacked by one?
Your English doctors will laugh at such a theory. Your police, your society. The strength of a vampire is that those will not
Dr. Seward, this case has stumped all your specialists. Go on, Professor.
Vampires are rare. Nature abhors them. The power of good combined to destroy them, but some of these creatures have lived on for centuries.
What is a vampire?
A vampire, my friend, is a man or woman who is dead and not yet dead. A thing that lives after its life by drinking the blood of the living. It must have blood or it dies. Its power lasts only from sunset to sunrise. By the hours of the day, it must rest in the earth or tomb in which it was buried. But during the hours of the night, it has the power to prey upon the living. My friend, you're thinking you will put me amongst your patients.
I don't know what to say, Van Helsing, but I simply confess I can't follow you.
What makes you think Lucy's been attacked by such a creature?
Dr. Seward's written accounts of these young ladies at once aroused my suspicions. Anemia, the blood of 3 men, was forced into the veins of Miss Mina, yet she died from loss of blood. Where did it go? Had your specialist any answer? The vampire attacks the throat. He leaves 2 wounds, white with red centers. Seward, you wrote me of these marks on Miss Lucy's throat. An accident with the safety pin. So I thought. I suspected, and I came on the instant. And what do I find? The same 2 marks on Miss Lucy's throat. Another safety pin, Dr. Seward.
You mean say that you built up this nightmare out of a safety pin? Sure can't make out why you took those marks from us.
I can tell you that.
What? I don't believe it. Lucy's show can't possibly be that.
I do believe it. My God, Professor, this theory explains all the facts that nobody's been able to explain. We'll take her away from here, far away, where that thing cannot get to her.
She will not want to go.
What?
If you force her, the shock may be fatal.
But why? Why would she go if we tell her her life depends on it?
Because the victim of a vampire becomes his creature, linked to him in life and after death.
Professor, this is too much.
Lucy becomes an unclean thing. A demon?
Yes, Harker. Now, will you help me?
Yes. Yes, anything. Tell me what to do.
Our lives are at stake, but so is Miss Lucy's. We must stamp out this monster.
How do we stamp it out now?
This undead thing lies helpless by day in the earth or tomb in which it was buried.
You mean a corpse? In a coffin?
A corpse, if you like, but a living corpse, substained by the blood of the living. If we can find its earth home, a stake driven through the heart will destroy the vampire. But this is our task. In such a case, the police, all powers of society, are as helpless as the English doctors. What bars or chains can hold a creature who can turn into a wolf or bat?
A wolf! Dr. Seward, those dogs howling! I told you they howl that way in Russia when there are wolves about. Well, a bat. Renfield said something about a bat.
Well, what of it?
Your patient Renfield does not like the smell of wolfsbane.
What in the world has your wolfsbane to do with all this?
A vampire cannot stand the smell of wolfsbane.
You suspect that lunatic?
I suspect no one, and everyone. Now tell me, who is this Count Dracula?
Dracula? We know very little about him.
When I was traveling in Transylvania, I heard of Castle Dracula. A famous Voivod Dracula who lived there centuries ago battled the Turks.
I will make inquiries by telegraph. No, but after all, this thing must be English, or at least have died here. His lair must be close enough for him to get back before sunrise. Oh, my friend, I have only the old beliefs with which to fight this monster that has the strength of 20 men, and perhaps the accumulated wisdom and cunning of the centuries.
This all seems a nightmare. But I'm with you, Professor.
And you, Dr. Seward.
It all seems preposterous to me. But everyone else has failed. The case is in your hands at present.
I need allies, not neutrals.
Very well. Do what you will.
Good. Then bring your daughter here.
What are you going to do?
To set a trap. Miss Lucy's the bait.
My God, we can't let you do that. I forbid this.
She's my daughter and I consent. will show the professor that she's mistaken.
You only consent because you do not believe. My God, Professor, I heard the laughs, the cries of that maniac, and you subject Lucy to that risk.
I must be master here, or I can do nothing. I must know in what form this thing comes in before I can stamp it out. Bring your daughter here. Go. Get. Excuse me, miss. Is Dr. Seward here? What do you want with him?
Oh, flycatchers escaped again, miss.
Escaped? How?
Oh, blimey, cut out the window. The door was locked and I was in the corridor all the while. It's a good drop, 30 feet to the stone flagging. That loony's a bloomin' flying squirrel he is.
Say nothing to Dr. Seward at present. You understand?
Yes?
Now go!
See, you have nothing to fear.
I want you to lie here, my dear. Oh, but doctor! You trust me, do you not? I want you to lie here for a little.
Oh, but I'm so very frightened.
Try to make your mind passive. Sleep if you can.
Oh no, I do not sleep. It's when I sleep that
I know, my dear. I know. I'm going to cure you. With God's help.
Oh, but Father, no, please.
Lucy, dear, you must do as the professor says. Come, Harker.
Come, Harker.
Everything's all right. I guess I'll just lie here for now. I am very tired. I guess I might just lie down.
It wasn't until I saw his eyes, that's when I knew I was in trouble. Then, it was too late. Too late for me anyway. Maybe it was too late for her too.
my nerves.
Your nerves? What about my nerves?
Oh.
Is it not enough with the dogs howling each night, and foreign counts bobbing up through the floor, and poor Miss Lucy taking on the way she does, with everyone having their veins drained of blood? And this gut Sherlock Holmes with the X-ray eyes about, without you letting that Renfield loose.
I haven't let him loose! Just now, I hear some noise like a wolf howling. I open his door with me key, and what do I see but his legs going through the window?
Climbing down the wall.
I don't expect anyone to believe it, but I've seen it. And what's more, I grabbed hold of his feet, I did!
Climbing down, head first, like a bat.
We even mentioned a bat, but just as I grabbed hold of him, a big bat flies in and hits me right in the face.
I know where that bat came from.
You do?
Where? Out of your belfry.
No, miss, it's God's truth, I'm telling you. Out that bat flies and that loony is gone. But I heard him laugh. God, what a laugh. Blimey, but I'll catch it from the governor for this one.
If you tell the governor any such tales, he'll shut you up with the loony.
Well, Lord, miss, aren't you a smart one? That's just what I've been thinking. And I daren't tell him what I've seen and what I heard. But he's harmless, this bloke.
Wouldn't hurt a fly, would he?
Hurt a fly? Oh no, not he. He only needs some! Why, he'd rather eat a few blue bottles than a pound of the best steak. And what he does to spiders is a crime.
It seems to me somebody will be after you in a minute. You and your spiders.
Well, say, miss, this is a queer neighborhood. Oh, what a drop that is to the ground. I bet you don't have to worry about burglars up here, do you? I mean, unless they can fly. But do you ever get lonely out there on your nights off?
Just lately I have a bit. I never really noticed the trees had such shadows before.
Well, if you ever need an escort...
I'll not walk with you in your uniform. People might be taking me for one of your loonies.
Well, I have had my eye on you.
Better keep that eye on your loony, or you'll be looking for a new job.
For a new job?
Buzz off!
Oh, all right. But I have something here that'll tempt him back into his role.
What's that?
This is... Take it away! Take it away! Come on, Cuthbert, being too popular. Some people just have no sense of humor.
What was that?
Pardon me, sir. She frightened me with that animal.
Animal? What animal?
It was a white mouse, sir.
You mustn't scream. Not in this house. Now.
I'm sorry, sir, but that nasty little beast.
You alarm Miss Lucy so. She's dreadfully upset by this, by something in the paper.
Oh, do you mean about the Hampstead Horror, sir? The lady in white who gives the chocolate to the little children?
Never mind that. I'll not have Miss Lucy disturbed.
Good evening. Forgive me. My footfall is not heavy, and your rugs are soft.
It's all right, sir, but how did you get in?
The door to this room was ajar, so I did not knock. How is Miss Lucy and her nervous prostration?
She's better now, I think.
Ah, but the strain of Miss Lucy's illness has made you also ill.
How did you know, down into the neck.
I can remove this pain.
I don't understand, sir.
Such pains yield readily to suggestion.
Excuse me, sir, but if it's hypnotism you're talking about, I would rather have the pain.
Ah, you think hypnotism as an ugly waving of arms and many passes. That is not my method. What is given can be taken away. From now on, you will have no pain and no will of your own. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
When you awake, you will not remember what I say. Dr. Seward ordered you today to sleep with your mistress in the same room because of her bad dreams. Is it true?
Yes, Master.
Your mistress is threatened by horror and by death, but I will save her. A woman whose will is at cross purposes with mine has come to this house, and I will crush her. Here are your orders. Do you understand?
Yes, Master.
Hear and obey. From now on, you shall carry out any suggestion that reaches you from my brain instantly without question. When I will, it shall be done. My call will reach you soon.
You've not left your mistress alone.
Dr. Seward is with her now, ma'am.
What is wrong with you, my girl?
It's nothing, ma'am.
You just had a severe shock.
It's nothing. I just suddenly felt queer. That's all. I can't remember anything.
Mr. Harker has just arrived. Tell Dr. Seward to come here at once. You remain with Miss Lucy yourself.
She's dreadfully upset, ma'am. Something about the evening paper?
Oh, God, she's seen it.
Everything's just the same.
Yes.
When I leave this house, even for a few hours, I dread what I may find when I return.
And well you may, my friend.
God must have sent you here to help us. Without you, there'd be no hope.
I don't know, I was just... When I helped with the transfusion, it was the least I could do, for my lack of foresight was responsible for the attack.
Don't say that.
Her maid slept with you, and yet we still found the wolf's bane from off the bed to the floor.
She was so cold and so weak. Those two little wounds opened fresh again.
But I've prepared a stronger defense. But our main task is not attack, but defense. Now, what have you found in London?
A lot. But heaven knows what it means, or if it's of any use.
I too have had news with which I can make nothing.
Oh, John, back in town?
Yes.
We must try to piece together what we have learned. My colleague in Bucharest wires that the Dracula family has been extinct for 500 years.
Can the Count be an impostor?
The castle he calls his own is a desolate ruin near the border. A vampire from Transylvania cannot be in England.
What? Why?
Because, as I told you before, the vampire must rest by day in the tomb in which he was buried.
In the earth?
The vampire must return to its burial place by sunrise.
I found today that Dracula arrived at the Cradon airdrome. It carried only the Count and 6 packing cases.
Did you find what was in those cases?
He told the customs people he wanted to see if Transylvania plants would grow in a foreign climate in their native soil.
Soil? What was in those boxes?
Just plain dirt. He left in a lorry before sunrise with the 6 coffin-like boxes.
Oh, God, yes! Before sunrise! The king of vampires, my friends. He leaves his castle after sunset. By dawn, he has reached London and is safe in one of his cases. A great risk, but he triumphs. He has reached London
millions, with its opportunity, as he said.
God, protect my Lucy. I spoke to the estate agent from whom we purchased Cottingham, and I got the address of 4 old houses he's leased throughout London.
Each of his coffin retreats is in those houses.
2 heavy boxes were delivered to Cottingham the day he took possession.
He has scattered them for safety. We must find all 6 and we can stamp them out.
How?
His native earth will no longer receive his unclean form if each box is sanctified with holy water.
If this is so, then we must get at those boxes. Tear them open one by one. My God, Professor, if we find him, I demand that my hand shall drive the stake through this devil's heart and send his soul back to hell. And then my Lucy will be safe.
For her life, yes, but his unclean kiss has already claimed her soul. She will become as he is, foul from the night. But we have one great advantage. By our search by day, he is a confined corpse and can know nothing if we leave no traces.
God, this delay.
We must make the round of all 6 of his houses, without his knowledge, and then we act.
What about the caretakers? Or servants?
All the houses will be empty. The vampire plays a lone hand.
Did Renfield good this time?
Where is he?
He's always hiding on us.
Renfield?
Oh, Renfield!
He's been here all the time we've been talking.
Did you hear what we were saying, man?
I heard something. Enough. Be guided by what she says. It is your only hope. It is her only hope. It is my only hope. Save my soul. Save my soul. I am crazy. You are sane. I am weak. You are strong. You are good and he is evil.
I will save you, Renfield, but you must tell me what you know. Everything.
Come, Professor. What have I to gain by being on your side?
The blood is life, Renfield? Now tell me, what do you know about Count Dracula?
Dracula? I've never heard the name before.
You are lying.
Madman, Professor. Not the power to discriminate between truth and falsehood. So I take no offense at what most men would consider an affront. I told you to send me away, Dr. Stewart, and you didn't. If only you had known what has happened since then. I dare not tell you, I dare not. I shall die in torment if I betray.
Dr. Stewart will send you away if you speak.
Yes, Renfield. I'll give you your soul in exchange for what you know.
God will not damn a poor lunatic soul.
Come, Renfield.
Then I will tell you. Count Dracula's...
What is he?
No, he can't! No! You will kill me! No!
Speak to me, man!
No, I can't! Kill me!
Come, Renfield, what were you about to say?
Nothing!
Professor, have you seen what's in this?
Oh, Miss Lucy, you must not!
Are you Miss Stewart? I am. Then in the name of the merciful and compassionate God, leave this place at once!
But this is my home. Nothing would induce me to leave.
That's true. You wouldn't go if they tried to drag you away, would you? It's too late. What a fool I am. You've chosen this place. You're so young, so beautiful, so pure. Ah! The master is at hand.
Butterworth!
No, get off me! Get off me! Since you will not heed my warning, Miss Stewart, I pray to God I will never see your face again.
Professor, why did he say that? Please tell me. What did he mean? Please, Professor.
That crazy thing in the league with the devil. Horrible. And Lucy, already upset by something in the paper.
Take that paper from her.
Whatever it is, she keeps reading that article again and again.
Go and take that paper from her, man, and bring it back to me.
Don't overdo it, Van Helsing. God knows where we would be if we went under. After a transfusion operation, at your age, you really have to be in bed. The loss of so much blood is serious.
I've never felt more fit in my life.
Only ask you not to overestimate your strength now, when we lean on you. Feeling fit, are you? Just take a look at yourself in the glass.
The devil.
Come. Not as bad as that.
I did not hear you, Count.
I'm often told I have a light footstep.
I was just looking in the mirror. Its reflection covers the whole room, but I cannot see.
They are playthings of man's vanity. And how is the fair patient?
The diagnosis presents difficulties.
I feared it might, my friend.
Would you care to see the medicine I have prescribed my patient?
Anything that you prescribe for Miss Lucy has the greatest interest for me.
Here is the medicine for Miss Lucy! You do not care for the smell?
Lunatics are difficult. They do not do what they are told. They even try to betray their benefactors. But when servants fail to obey orders, the master must carry them out himself.
I anticipated as much.
In the past 500 years, Professor, all those who have crossed my path have died, and some not pleasantly. Come here!
Your will is strong, and I must come to you. More medicine, Professor?
More effective than wolfsbane, Count.
Indeed.
Sacrilege!
What was that?
It was a revolver shot. Came as relief. At least something here is human.
Sorry if I startled you. I saw that infernal beast. I had to take a shot. Did you hit it? Why, it was...
No bullet was ever made that could harm that. My weapons are much stronger.
What do you mean?
Count Dracula was here.
Good God, how did he get in?
You ask, how the king of vampires, during the hours of the night, the hours which are his, comes and goes. As the wind, my friend. He came to kill me, but I carry a power much stronger.
What power?
I expected the attack. I've secured a dispensation from the Cardinal. I have with me the host.
Lucy must not know.
Miss Lucy knows. More than you think.
How can she know? If she knew, she'd tell me.
As this continues, she grows more and more under his power. There's a mystic link between them.
But, Professor, that means Lucy's in collusion with this creature. That's impossible.
No, Miss Lucy, you must not! Read it!
My dear, what's in the paper they sent
No,
you?
read it! No, Harker! Read it, John! Read it!
The Hampstead horror.
Oh!
Further attacks on small children committed after dark by a mysterious and beautiful woman in Hampstead were reported tonight. Each child speaks of a mysterious lady who gave her chocolates, enticed her into a secluded corner, and kissed and fondled her, bit her on the neck lightly.
Oh, please, go on!
The children suffered no further harm. Indeed, one girl told her mother she hoped to see the mysterious lady again.
So soon. So soon.
Lucy, you've known what's been happening?
Professor Van Helsing knows too, Lucy. She knows how to help you.
Oh, Professor, is it not too late? It is not too late.
These poor, innocent children.
Do you think Count Dracula... Oh, please, not that name. Do you think the werewolf has some
something to do with this?
Well, of course. In the form of a woman, who else could it be?
It is worse. Far worse.
How could it be worse?
Miss Lucy knows. The woman in white is Mina.
Mina? She's dead, Lucy.
She has gone to join the master.
God have pity on us all.
Miss Lucy, I will not ask you how you know, but after tonight, no more children will visit the women in white. She will remain at rest, and her soul will be released into heaven and will be with God. How can you do this? Do not ask me. Professor, if you can save Mina's soul after her death, does that mean you can save mine?
Lucy.
I will save you, in God's name. And he has given me a sign, here, in this room, tonight. But promise me one thing. Whatever you know, whatever you plan to do not tell me. Even if I beg you to tell me, you must not do it. Now that I'm still yours, now that I'm still myself, promise it.
I promise, Lucy. I promise.
From tonight on, one of the three of us will be here, in this room, next to yours, with the door open. Oh, you're so good. I will make it safe. Your maid will sleep with you. I have made you something. As you were, these dreams cannot come to you, but you must promise me one thing, that you will not take these off. Yes, I promise. Swear it on the cross. I swear it.
Professor, surely the host is more powerful than this wolf's bane?
Of course.
Then leave the host with her. No harm can come to her then.
No, the host cannot be used where there has been pollution. What is it? It's Renfield, sir!
Why haven't you got him locked up?
He's bought himself in, sir. He has one of the patients. He has him on the throat. Human blood now. Come, Seward. Come, Harker.
I should have had him sent away.
No, John. Oh, God, no, don't you leave me too.
Of course I won't, Miss Lucy. It's nothing but a quarrel among the patients. Mr. Harker will be back soon. These evil-smelling flowers have made you faint. So close, madam. Just a little air.
What a lovely evening. Children, come to me. I will not harm you. What lovely children. Look at you with your rosy cheeks and your bright smiles. You are not afraid of the dark, are you? Of course not. For you there is only light. Are you hungry? Would you like some chocolate? Of course you do. All children love chocolate. But I can't throw it to you. You must come and take it out of my hand. That's right. Isn't it delicious? Would you like some more? Doesn't it make you want to laugh? Of course you would like some more. Come and get it. Just a little closer. Just a little closer.
What is it? Anybody want me job, man? Can I?
What's the matter?
I knows what I knows, and what I seen, I saw. An officer by the first train don't ask for no wages in lieu of notice.
Where is Renfield?
If you ask me, I say he's probably paying a little visit to hell.
Let them escape again?
Having, so to speak, resigned, I don't have to put up with any more from any of you.
Can't you see, man, that Dr. Seward is not well?
I'm not the one to run under fire, and I am sick and tired of being told off for what ain't my fault.
We can't blame you. No bolts of ours can hold Renfield.
See, now then you're talking sense. Only this time, I'd been a straitjacket. Nearly all day yesterday I worked on clamping these bars to his window. And now I find them pulled apart as if they were made of cheese, and him gone.
Then try to find him! Find him, ma'am. Find him. I'm gonna go chase him up and down the walls. I ain't no bloody mountain goat.
The thing mocks us. After he finds out what we know and what we have done, he comes here and drags that poor creature of his to himself.
What can the vampire want with Renfield?
Renfield is serving an apprenticeship to join the Vampire King after his death. We must prevent that.
What does Renfield matter?
I thought we had him when we broke into Cartingham and found the 2 earth boxes, and when we broke into the other houses and found the others. I thought when I would pry open the lid of the 6th box, I would find him there, helpless.
He only brought 6 boxes of the plane, so there could be only the one left.
Only one, but we can never find it. But we have him on guard.
Yes. It's not half hour till sunrise. Poor John has been sent up with Lucy for 9 hours now. She'll be safe at dawn, and John can finally get some sleep. Anyone can get sleep in this house. Now, how could have gone after her with a wolfsbane and cross around her neck?
Yes! He must have impelled the maid to take the wolfsbane and cross and open the window. I should have foreseen that.
Don't blame yourself. The devil's more cunning than we are. Yet, Lucy seems better. Until this last attack, she always seems exhausted, but at sunset last night, after she woke up after sleeping all day...
There was blood in her cheeks again.
Yes, thank God.
My friend, where did this blood come from?
What do you suggest now? What fresh horror?
Stop! It's not 5:30 in the morning, a strange hour for men who aren't crazy to be about.
We may get help from this thing that is still half human. Come, Renfield.
He's after me. He's going to kill me.
Come, Renfield, and we will save you.
You poor, puny woman. You dare challenge your mind against his?
But God can stop him.
God prevents evil. How can God be good if he prevents evil? Tell me that.
How'd you escape through those iron bars?
Madmen have great strength, Doctor.
Come, Renfield. We know you didn't wrench those bars apart yourself.
No, I didn't. I wanted them there. I hoped they'd keep him out. He didn't. Then he called me to him and I had to come. I'm not like him. I wouldn't like a human life. The master is saying, John. And what did I seek to betray him but for you? I said I'd serve the devil, but I wouldn't serve him honestly. I don't like women with no blood in them. And then I betrayed him and I made him angry. And perhaps he will kill me. And then there'll be no more live things to eat. And then there'll be no more blood.
No!
Get back, Precious!
Lucy, dear, you mustn't mind that poor, crazed creature.
Oh, I don't. He amuses me, really.
But how? The poor devil. Thank God, it will soon be dawn.
Dawn, the ebb tide of life. I've always hated the dawn. I don't know how anyone could really like daylight. The night is when I come alive. The night was made to enjoy life. And love. Come to me, John, my own John.
Lucy, I'm so happy that you're better and strong again.
I've never felt so well. John, I don't know what made you love me before. There really was no reason to. Well, but there is now.
Lucy, I worship you.
Then tell me something. If you love me, you'll tell me. Oh no, don't you turn away from me again!
You made me promise not to tell you anything.
Will I release you from your promise? There, now. What were you and Father and that funny professor doing running around all day?
I can't tell you, I promised.
You say you love me, but you don't trust me.
Lucy, I trust you with my life, my soul.
Well, then prove it! What were you doing running around Cottingham all day with that hammer and that horrible wooden stake? Oh, you don't think I'm asking you because... Well, I just want to know whether you really love me, that's all. You know, he knows what you think. He knows everything.
Lucy.
Oh, my dear, let me kiss away the tears.
No! You made me promise not to let you kiss me.
Well, you don't know why I said that, John! It's because I love you so much. I know you've always thought me cold, John, but I've blood in my veins. Hot blood. And I was afraid that if you were to kiss me that I'd... Well, I'm not afraid now. Come, will you make me say it?
Lucy, I don't understand you.
I love you. I want you. Come to me, John. I want you. No, Arthur, no!
Go.
I want you, my poor friend. I want you. Thank God, thank God. Professor, you said you could save Mina's soul. Mina's soul is in heaven. Well, tell me how. I suppose it is your right to know. I entered a tomb. I pried open the coffin. I saw her there, sleeping, but not dead. Not truly dead. A drop of blood like a ruby red on the corner of her mouth. With a stake and hammer, I struck to the heart. Oh, Professor, if I die, promise me that you'll do this to my body. It shall be done.
I swear it.
And
we will find this thing that has fouled your life. We shall destroy it. Shall be by my hand.
Oh, you must destroy him if you can. Each time, the white face, the red eyes came, you were pale, exhausted afterwards. But that last time, well, that last time, he said that I was to be his bride, and that he would seal me to himself for the centuries to come. And then... No, I can't go on, please, no. But you must.
You must, Lucy.
Okay, well, he cut open one of his veins, and he made me drink from it, and I can't go on, please. I warned you, my poor friend. I broke in when I heard the dogs howling.
The dogs? Then the werewolf is about.
He's pursuing Renfield.
My God, we must do something.
And at once. We will leave Renfield here, as I did Miss Lucy. If that thing appears, we three can bar the 2 doors and windows.
Bar? Bar against that?
Even against that, for we shall each carry the sacred element.
And then?
And then, I do not know. It is terrible, for we do not know his full strength. It is 8 minutes to sunrise.
We can keep him here till daybreak. He must collapse. There he is! Get him!
Renfield! Ah! Don't be dumb! Quiet!
No! But you must, Renfield, for this will save your life. No! And your soul as well! No!
Going to kill me. No. No, please, Master. I didn't betray you. I didn't say anything.
Did I not promise you that you should come to me at your death and enjoy centuries of life and power over the bodies and souls of others?
Yes, Master, I want blood. I want lives. But I don't want a human life.
You betrayed me! You sought to warn my destined bride against me!
Mercy, mercy! Don't kill me!
There he is!
Got him surrounded.
My friends, I regret I was not present to receive your calls from my house.
4 minutes until sunrise.
Your watch is correct, Professor.
Your life and death has reached its end.
By God's mercy.
Its end? Not yet. I still have more than 3 minutes to add to my 500 years.
And in 3 minutes your soul will be in hell, where 1,000 years of suffering and agony will not bring you 1 moment closer to the end of your suffering.
Silence, Harker! Miss Lucy forbade this. She asked for prayer and for pity.
You fools. You think you can destroy me, the king of my kind? You shall see. 5 of my earth boxes you have polluted. Have you found the 6th?
You cannot reach your 6th refuge now.
You keep me. Fools. Listen and let my words ring in your ears all your lives and torture you on your deathbeds. I go to sleep in my box for 100 years. You have accomplished that much against me, Van Helsing, but in a century I shall wake and call my bride to my side, my Lucy, my queen.
Should you escape, we know how to save Lucy's soul, if not her life.
Ah, mistake. Yes, but only if she dies by day. I shall see that she dies by night. She shall come to an earth box of mine and await her master. To do to her what you did to my Mina Van Helsing, you must find her body, and that you will not.
Then she shall die by day.
You will kill her? You lack the courage, you poor rats of flesh and blood!
Silence, John! He is doomed. This is his revenge. He hopes to trouble us afterwards.
30 seconds.
I thank you for reminding me of the time.
Harker, open the cones. That is the east. The sun will rise beyond the meadow.
The clouds are coloring.
God's daybreak.
You pleasant task you set yourself, Mr. Harker.
10 seconds. Prepare for when he collapses.
Mistake, Professor. Grab him, Doctor. I've got him.
God. What's to be done now, Van Helsing?
We'll trick Renfield in showing us the way. Dare we leave Renfield here to become a slave when he dies?
But he's human. We can't do murder.
I'll do it if you won't, Doctor.
Go to your office and get some painless drug. Wait! Master! Master, what are you doing? Master, please!
What? I never knew there was a passage!
Quick! Harker! The stake!
All I had to do was to just chill away.
You were so kind. He told me that my father would be proud of me.
He never told me he was going to kill me.
Until it was too late.
I'm coming, Master! I'm coming!
There he is! We mustn't lose him! For Miss Lucy's sake!
Hurry! Our daughter's life's at stake. Her soul's at stake.
There's Patrick Lucy only one way. To Dracula's castle.
We're not too late.
For God's sake, we can't pursue it!
He stands him down forever.
May God have mercy on us.
Is Tucker there?
He's on for another lantern.
What can this place be?
It seems to be an old fault.
Whoa!
What is it?
Sorry. The branch just ran across my foot.
Where are you? What is this place?
We cannot see.
It smells horribly of bats.
Has an animal smell, like the lair of a wolf.
That's what it is. You can't be sure. Look there. A passage.
This must lead to the castle. His 6 box must be here somewhere.
And that devil in it.
There's absolutely nothing here.
Where is he?
Over there somewhere. Even if Renfield knew about this, this doesn't prove that the vampire's here.
Is the vampire's life for yours? Look at him! He knows!
I know nothing! Let me go! Let me go, I said!
He was stretched here. He wouldn't let me drag him. Look, the coffin! Quick, Parker, the stake!
Horrible undead thingies. Lying there.
Is that over the heart, Doctor?
Yes.
Is he dead?
Tumbling away.
We're free! Thank God we're free!
Dust to dust. Ashes to ashes.
We hope the memories of Dracula and Renfield won't give you bad dreams. So here's a word of advice. When you get home tonight, and the lights have been turned out, and you are afraid to look behind the curtain, and you dread to see a face appear at the window, just pull yourself together, and remember that there are such things after all.